Hey, what's up? This is completely unscripted. Just some stuff that's been on my mind lately that I wanted to talk about. I, as many of you well know, am a bisexual. I believe that there are 4 kinds of bisexuals, and they are as follows. The first kind of bisexual. I'm bisexual as the next person, but only when I'm drunk. And when the guy that I wanted is ignoring me. Yeah. Bisexual type number 2. The kind that is just curious, and rather than saying that they're bi-curious, refer to themselves as bisexual. That's really it's just frustrating. I can understand wanting to have a solid label on yourself, but why do people feel the need to label themselves in the first place? I call myself bisexual because it's the only way I can find to describe my sexuality without getting into a big fat long conversation about it with every single person that asks me. Bisexual type number trace. And by trace I mean 3. I know I'm white. I know. The kind... I'm talking about this in terms of female. There's male counterparts too, but we're going with females for right now because that's what I am. The kind that are actually lesbian and are just too scared to admit it. Or are too scared to admit it to themselves, for that matter. They don't want to identify as lesbian because they don't want people to think, oh, she's just lesbian, she's a big dyke or something like that. All that bullshit that comes along with not being straight. So they refer to themselves as bisexual so that they feel like they still have hope to be normal. Then there's the 4th kind of bisexual, which is the kind that I am. The kind that is actually bisexual. The kind that feels the same way about either gender and it's just whatever happens, happens. I can understand being a lesbian because I can understand being revolted by the male gender or their equipment, what have you, and being just solely attracted to females. And I can understand being completely straight by nothing about vagina turns you on at all. That's fine, whatever. To each their own. It's none of my business. But if you're like me, to where you're totally fine with both genders, both sets of equipment, I guess, and everything that goes along with that, then why would you have to choose one gender and cut your chances of finding the person you're supposed to be with in half? Well, virtually in half. I just don't see the point of doing that. That's what is so frustrating, actually, about being a bisexual, because everyone you tell that you're a bisexual, they all have the same fucking opinion. Make up your mind. You bisexuals don't know what you want. Pick a gender. Pick a gender. Make up your mind. Oh my fucking god, dude. My mind is made up. My mind has been made up. I don't have to choose one or the other. And who are you to say that I should choose one or the other? Especially when this comes from homosexuals that tell me I have to pick a gender. Generally, you would hope, at least, that someone you meet that's homosexual would be at least slightly more open-minded than their straight counterpart, because they know what it's like to be persecuted for who you love, to be just ridiculed, and just everyone just tells you that you're wrong about what you feel, and it's so fucking frustrating. And nobody in the world is in a place where they can tell someone else what is right for them. That is your decision to make for yourself. That is your decision to make on your own, and it's up to you whether or not you're going to take outside influence for that decision. Another thing that sucks about being a bisexual, people think that I want to say that I'm bisexual so that people will think I'm cool, or that I can make excuses for my behavior and the things that I say. No. Honestly, I wish that I could pick a gender. I wish that I could just be straight or just be lesbian. It would be so much less confusing. People think that it's so much easier to be a bisexual, but it's the hugest pain in the ass ever, because you are definitely not accepted by the straight community, and then also you're not accepted by the gay community, because neither can appreciate the fact that you're fine with both genders. Straight people think that you're disgusting for wanting to be with girls, while the gay community thinks that you're disgusting for wanting to be with guys. And everybody just thinks you're this big old hoe because you want to be bisexual, so they think you want to fuck everything that walks. But I don't. And then there's the people that when you're dating them, my ex-boyfriend actually said this to me. He said that I was straight because at the time I was with him. So in order to be bisexual, I have to date a person from both genders at the same time? I don't fucking think so, okay? Sorry. And actually my ex-girlfriend, whom I was having a conversation with the other day, told me that she thinks bisexuals are disgusting. She told me that I was disgusting. And you know what? It actually really upset me, because I get that kind of input from strangers in general enough. I get it from my family enough. I get it from everyone all the time enough. I don't need it from someone that's supposed to love me that I love. Just because we're not together doesn't mean we don't still love each other, by the way, just clearing that up really quick. And then there's my family, who tells me that my bisexual thing was a phase. Yeah, because I just felt like giving that a shot. It was a total experimental thing. Just because I only had one girlfriend, we were together for over a year, and I'm not the type of person with an attention span long enough to waste a year of my life on something that I'm just experimenting with. Excuse me. No. And it was not a meaningless relationship. I wouldn't live with someone and bare my heart and soul to them, make them the biggest thing in my life, commit myself to them entirely, and that's just a phase. That's just an experiment. Yeah, definitely. I met some guy online, and he was just chit-chatting with him, and we were talking about sexuality and whatnot. Then he asked me, what do bisexuals find interesting about guys? Probably generally the same things that straight girls find interesting about guys. And I told him too, I was like, just because I'm bisexual doesn't mean I have some freaky, insane, just unusual interests. It's the same shit as with a straight girl liking a guy, or with a straight guy liking a girl, or a girl liking a girl, guy liking a guy, and so on and so forth. There's so many combinations. So that's why I'm making this video. I just wanted to say my views on the whole sexuality thing and explain why I am the way that I am, in case anyone's curious. When you're bisexual, it's the most frustrating thing in the world. You're always panicking about making the wrong decision, because you're worried that if you choose a guy, then the rest of your life you're going to wish you picked a girl. If you pick a girl, the rest of your life you're going to wish you picked a guy. Because yeah, picking a guy would be easier in terms of family relationships and socially acceptable behavior. It would just make it to where it's a lot less stressful day-to-day life. But then you feel like you'll just be miserable on the inside because you don't get to have the other part of you expressed, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It's just a pain in the ass. It is a pain in the ass. Just so you know. Feel free to leave a comment or a video response for your opinions on the topic. If it's bitchy hate comments, I don't care, leave them anyway. I love to debate, and I'm interested in other people's opinions. Video responses are always welcome because it's fun doing the almost kind of like face-to-face communication, only not really, because it's via internet, but whatever. So feel free to do that, and I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Blech.